Hey, gang. How are you? Let's see. Bob Kaler was the first one here, according to my little live chat thing. Then my buddy Daryl Deemer and David Samsell. How y'all doing? Welcome to the live stream from the new Casa, the Casa de Guppy. So it's so I've got. Hey, what's up, Anthony's fishy friends? Um, so here's how this works. I'm in the house. I have aquariums here. Hey, Bob. Shout it out, but you must have ducked out for a second. I've got empty aquariums here. I had some stuff delivered yesterday, and I have stuff arriving tomorrow. The fish are still at the old place. My goal is to have them over this weekend. So tomorrow, I'm gonna get a bunch of aquariums up and running. Chewy. By the way, I'm on self quarantine. Yeah. I haven't picked up coronavirus, which I'm kind of happy about. But I kind of like the idea of being locked at home. Here's the good news. And depending where you are in the country, good luck finding toilet paper. I went to Sam's Club and got like one of those giant things of toilet paper about a month, 3 weeks ago, probably not a month ago. So I have more toilet paper than what's going on. It's no problem, Anthony. Lurk away. We're all about it. All about lurking. So yeah, so I'm here. I it's I'm feeding stuff and doing over that. Yeah, I generally like to buy the big thing of toilet paper, and I don't have more than one of them. So if this goes on a while, maybe there will be a problem. I have a feeling that toilet paper and Jay's Better Room. Welcome to the live stream. I have a feeling that this will be over before we know it. So I'm all in favor of it. I have no desire to go hang out with masses of people. No desire. I ate like a trash can last week as I was getting ready for the move. I got back into it today. Yesterday, I started back into my eating regime, and so I'm beginning to eat well again. But the moving thing is just crazy. Now, I am having an issue, and I'm trying to figure out what the deal is. One of my TVs is like not connecting to the internet real quick, and I'm having to play around with it to get it to go. So there you go. Alex Breeding Fish, welcome to the live stream. Great having you here. So that's the deal. So I have a new 65-gallon aquarium. I have a canister filter here. Yesterday, 40 pounds of Eco Complete was delivered to the house. Let me just tell you, it's in one Amazon box. It's heavy. My first about day and a half, my fish room companion BOLO wasn't all that. He didn't know what to do with the place. He's never had a backyard before. So he wouldn't go anywhere if I put him out there. So I had to go out there with him and play with him and that type of thing. There's a problem with the backyard. After it rains, it gets a little muddy. I have to go and plant more grass. Yeah. So Bolo, by the way, there's dogs next door that he, for the most part, ignores. But if he's marking around the deal and they start barking at him, it's on. And you don't want to mess around with a little guy. Alien World Aquatics, welcome. And I'm drinking a delicious Fresca. with a Vikings thing on it. Yep, so delicious. So I have the backyard is set up. I have one bird feeder up. I have, I'm getting more into it. The kitchen, I have to move boxes out of it. I've emptied all the boxes in the kitchen, except I have a problem. I've had a little bit of a leak in the dishwasher, and so that's been kind of a deal. GRB Aquatics, welcome to the live stream. Great having you here. So that's been sort of the deal. Been sort of the deal all the way around. I'm pretty excited about the entire process of the moving, getting that all in place, getting the fish. I'll get the fish over here. And so there we go. You know what? I do not own salt and pepper shakers. I need to get one of those pepper grinders to do bug bites for the fish. I've seen a couple of people on FishTube do it. It's pretty exciting. I've seen Michael's Fish Room do it, and I forget who else I've seen do it, and I like it. I like those bug bites. I think they're great, but for guppies, you have to get it real fine. So I have to pick up. I made my final. I fed my final round of baby brine at the old place, and so I'm going to pick up tomorrow. I've got to pick up a thing of Daphnia, frozen Daphnia. So that's good news. You see, there you go. I just look at. I've seen people do it with the battery operated ones. It's pretty cool. Those bug bites are pretty cool. Pretty cool. The guppies love them. So Bolo's over here. Anybody want to see Bolo? And if you can hear him, he's snoring. So there you go. Oh, you just cut up your bug bites? Yeah, maybe a good deal. And yeah, do you know what? There's a Bolo tea on the Mobb Guppy shop. A couple of them. And including one that, again says, quote unquote, and this is not for kids, where's my bitches at? And that's a female dog, everybody. And so that's all good. Hey, Doug Gray. Yeah, Rod Carew. It's one of the greatest hitters of all time in baseball. Great leadoff hitter. Never used. I'll tell you what though. Bolo wearing clothes. Good luck with that. He hates it. The ex-wife would occasionally put him in clothes. Hates it. Absolutely hates it. The ex-wife one time got him those little boots, shoes, and he destroyed. They were like $40. I mean, not cheap. He destroyed them in, he destroyed them in probably about 15 minutes. I mean, ripped them apart. He doesn't chew things. He has toys that he's had forever. In fact, I have to retire toys because they're too gross and old. He doesn't rip anything apart. So there you go. Yeah, there you see. I'm learning all sorts of stuff in a pill crusher. Yeah, there you go. And Bolo has a couple of toys that are like several years old, and I have to like throw him around for him to get interested. He's old. He wants to eat. He wants to go outside to poop and potty. He wants to be petted. That's it. That's all he wants. He wants to sleep like he is right now. You alien world aquatics. I crush my bug bites with willpower. So yeah, so the house is pretty good. I have the kitchen not quite organized yet, but I have everything unpacked. So that's good. And hey, Rob 93 Aquatics, welcome to the live stream. Good having you here. Yeah, so Bolo's pretty happy. He's pretty happy with the deal. So yeah, so here's what's going on with the tanks. I have 10 tanks here. I have to take down 2 10s. Tomorrow I'm going to be doing a lot of stuff with the fish room. My goal is to move everything over during the weekend, move the fish over, and then tear everything down and move it over. As far as the move, I have the 55-gallon aquarium, and I'm trying to figure out where I'm going to put that. It's because I don't know if I have enough room at the entryway. I'm trying to figure this out. So we'll go from there. I have a perfect spot for the 65. And I've got to wipe it out. They have the I got it at PetSmart. It was on sale. It's a pretty good deal. And there was a problem with the cabinet, so they lowered the price even more. And, by the way, you know what I had today for lunch? I had an Impossible Whopper. And let me give you a secret. Next time you go to Burger King, I'll give you a Burger King pro tip. Next time you go to Burger King, get the onion ring sauce for your French fries. And ask them at the last minute for the onion ring sauce, because if you say, I want the onion ring sauce with the fries, they always give you onion rings, which is fine. They're fine, but if you're going back to work, that's sort of the deal. The Impossible Whopper, no, it's delicious. I had mine today with no tomato, no pickle. It was fine. It was delicious. And does it taste just like beef? No, it doesn't. So today I've been completely meatless for my diet, and I've got to get back on. So I'm going to be pretty serious with it. I will say this is that the neighborhood is great. I am so happy. Every neighbor I've met so far is great. I mean, everyone's been really nice. And so so that's good. So I've got the 40 pounds of Eco Complete. I have 9 10-gallons sitting here. I'll rip down this other thing, and then it's going to be the big move over. And so I'm pretty excited about the whole process. Can't wait to get it going. And probably one of the toughest things this weekend. And I don't know if our Canadian buddies, Chewy, you can correct us, but in the United States, I know we have some Aussies here. We have, this is a we are the world sort of thing. We had time change this weekend, which I think is one of the worst things in the entire world. Absolutely terrible. Bolo, like cough. I haven't given him his medicine yet tonight, so he's on his wacky heart medicine. Yeah, so Bolo's whole deal is that he prefers, getting everything. So yeah, so I've got to set up the water thing. I've got to get these aquariums set. What I've decided to do with them is I'm gonna let the water, treat and then age And then I'm putting the guppies in Tupperware, cheap Tupperware, like Rubbermaid, so I can mark off which line they are and all that sort of stuff. And then I'm going to take their pre-seeded filters and I'm going to match them up. I'm going to get those running in the aquarium and plug in the heater. As soon as the water hits, 78 degrees, I'll heat up, acclimate the fish, dump them in, plop and drop. And so that's essentially what I'm going to do. And get that all set up. Select Pet, welcome. Yeah, this time change thing is such a scam. It's such a frickin' scam. It's one of the, if you have, I don't want to criticize anybody that believes in conspiracies. I'm not a huge conspiracy guy, but let me tell you what is a conspiracy. Time change. It's like it's going to go out. The secret was that it was going to save electricity. Really? Okay, so I wake up now. It's dark as I don't know. Ben Franklin, yeah, I know. He was the guy. Ben Franklin did a lot of great things. He was wrong on this. So if you get up first thing in the morning, I get up, pretty early. But when I was getting up at a normal time, like 6:30, 5:30, 6:30, 6 o'clock, somewhere around there. It was getting to the point where it was sunny. It was light. Well, you're at home cooking. Well, you're gonna have to turn on all the lights, all the stuff in the house, right? And when you get home, you don't have to turn on the stuff. Tiffany White, welcome to the live stream. Glad to have you here. So thanks for subscribing. Tiffany just subscribed earlier today, so thank you. And you know what, Doug Ray? I don't necessarily have a problem with time travel. I'm sure it happens. I saw people who went to the Grateful Dead concerts. I went and saw The Who, Alpine Valley, and I must have been, I guess about 20 years old. And Alpine Valley is a outdoor concert venue between Milwaukee and Chicago. So, yep, The Who, the band, The Who. And The Who, they were playing for like 3 nights there. But 5 nights before that, it was the Grateful Dead. I have never been offered drugs more than anything else. Hey, thank you very much, Tiffany. I appreciate it. So the Grateful Dead people were still roaming through trying to make money. Sheets and shrooms, sheets, apparently LSD. But let me just tell you, I didn't partake. But it was a great show. Really enjoyed that show. And 1 year later, almost to the day, what Stevie Ray Vaughan crashed in a helicopter after leaving a concert venue of Alpine Valley, which pretty incredible stuff. Sand Creek Aquatics, welcome to the live stream. By the way, you know what I'm drinking, everybody? Did I tell you? I pulled this up. I'm drinking a Fresca. No, Keith Moon was well dead by that time. This is like 1990. So 25th anniversary tour. They did a half hour at the beginning of the concert with Tommy, and they did it with horns, and it was great, absolutely great, and so it was a good time. It was a good show. I've seen I haven't seen all the concerts Chewie's seen, but I've been to a reasonable amount. Yeah, most of you have probably seen more concerts than I have. But I wanted to see one of the quote unquote originals of rock and roll, and I've never been a Rolling Stones fan. Not that I dislike the Rolling Stones. It was just I preferred the Who and the Beatles over the Rolling Stones. I also preferred the Kinks, which, by the way, apparently are going on a reunion tour. So the Davies brothers, it's what is it, Dan and Ray? They were the original brothers who beat each other up. Yeah, Cranberry's really good. Too bad she died. I mean, that was a great band. I saw Bruce Springsteen concert. That was a very good show. Probably the best shows that I have seen. Um, Never saw Dylan. Never saw the Temptations either. U2, I've seen them a couple of times. It's like a religious experience to see them. They do a good show. The other show that I really really liked, that I saw this again, in my early 20s. Um, I saw uh, The Call open up for the Psychedelic Furs. It was a pretty good show. Oh, you saw Janice. You see, Chewy? Yeah, it was before my time. Jefferson Airplane. Yeah, by the time I was ready to go see concerts, it was Jefferson Starship, then Starship, and we know how bad that was. Starship was bad. Yeah, it was pretty bad. All right, so let's get back to fish. So I'm getting the room set up. Now I'm going to the old place. Normally I feed 4 times a day. Sometimes 5 times, but I do, light feedings, my heavy feeding, of course, being the baby brine shrimp. And yeah, by the way, I saw Metallica. Metallica was great. I saw them in Nashville. It's got to be now close to 20 years ago, and great show. I'd go see them again in 2 seconds. I wouldn't mind seeing Megadeth. I wouldn't mind seeing Guns N' Roses. Wouldn't have a problem. So I'm going over. I'm getting them fed. I'm I'm just ready to get this thing done and get the fish over here. And yeah, yeah, the seeing the Beatles, it would have been, can you imagine in today's world, the whole process of the Beatles, if they were all 4 alive, how much they would make on that tour would be ridiculous. Yeah, Select Pet, let me tell you, the deal is that concerts, what they used to be like and what they are now, it's the concerts can be so ridiculously expensive. I mean, over the top expensive. So that's one of the things that we all have to, but seeing the concerts, seeing music, seeing live stuff, I have always I've appreciated the art. I've appreciated the art. So now it's just get the fish going. I've got to pick up more, those temporary Rubbermaid things and get everything set. And then once they're in, I'm gonna have to get more aquariums because I need more fish. I'm gonna end up having 40 aquariums. So the new rack I have set up now holds it'll hold close to 20 aquariums. Not that many. Let's see, 15, 16, 17, 18. Yeah, 18 aquariums. Sons of Cream. So, and then I have these racks, and I have to do something with them because they're beginning to sag a little bit. So I've got to buy more plywood to go over around the corner around this tuft to sort of strengthen them up. And I will set up, I will set up a total of, I'm gonna have about 40 aquariums I'll set up, mostly tents. And a couple of big ones for grow out. So, Kofi Baker after the show. Ginger Baker was always of Cream, was always seemed kind of cranky. Really a good drummer though. Really a good drummer. Seeing Queen for $5. There you go. My deal is with Queen, and half of you are gonna agree with me, half of you are gonna hate what I'm about to say. Is that obviously, their lead singer? Now my mind just went blank. I'm having a Joe Biden moment. Freddie Mercury obviously had one of the greatest voices of all time. Crystals, Pets, and Plants. Hey, welcome to the live stream. He, when they made great music, they made great music. And when they made bad music, it's, a lot of times you'll listen to an album, and I come from the era, I'm old enough for the era where, thank you, David, is that, I come from the era where you'd read Rolling Stone magazine and you read the record reviews, and they would go in and talk about, wow, this one was great, it's, all this sort of stuff. And I appreciate the art, and this is dead now. I feel sorry for anybody who didn't come a part of this. You'd pick up the CD or you'd pick up the record, and you'd look at the liner notes, and you would go through, and sometimes they had you had all that different stuff. Go through and just watch the story of the album, and a great album telling a story. That's dead. With digital music, it's totally dead. People are only buying the singles. It's just, and yeah, Freddie Mercury had an unbelievable voice, but they had songs like this, the song about bicycles. I like to ride my bicycle. Bohemian Rhapsody, unbelievable. It's a masterpiece. It's here's a song that you still hear it on the radio a lot, and again, it's not one that I'm high on. Is another one, Bites the Dust. I've heard it way too much. So there you go. You were singing Bicycle earlier, Select Bet. Now that's funny. You see, there you go. Yeah, I got a note about, I was telling a story. I won't even tell what the story is about on a live stream like 3 weeks ago. A real nice lady that's written me, is she never is here live during the live stream, but she always seems to watch them later on. Apparently, I said something that offended her, and I really wasn't. I was not. I was not trying to be offensive. I was not. And I just said, "Hey, I was just telling a story." And I at not at one time I was criticizing anybody or what have you. So that's yeah, each album of Queen did have a hit. That last album when Freddie Mercury was ill and they did the Radio Gaga thing. Yeah, that was not a great Queen song. But he was just trying to go at the end there. And yeah, see, there you go. Now that the Bohemian Rhapsody tours with Kansas, REO Speedwagon, Thin Lizzy. Now there's a show to go see. Kansas at its peak before they started not liking it. A lot of these rock bands, it's like people at work. Sorry, Jay, I'm trying not to offend anyone. All right. Um, a lot of these rock bands, they don't get along at all. Um, it's a famous story, obviously, is the Police. They hate each other's guts. The Police could not stand each other. Um, they did their reunion tour because they needed money, but I mean, they hate each other's guts. They obviously work well together, make great music. I've worked with people I get along with really well. I've worked with people I don't get along with. Um, I'm sure we all have. I'd rather get along with everybody at work, right? Um, but it doesn't mean I can't work with somebody. You know what I'm saying? And this is, when you go through and you think about, a lot of these musical acts. I'll tell you a musical act that everybody's heard of. The Pointer Sisters. Uh, all three Pointer Sisters couldn't stand each other, but apparently one of the sisters, both of them agreed they hated more than anything else. So I was told when they did a sound check that each Pointer sister had her own dressing room, and they didn't talk to each other. They would walk in, do their sound check, and yeah, that's a good thing, Bob. I can't remember was there a Phyllis Pointer, Lisa Pointer? I don't know. Yeah, Twisted Sister. They're good. And so they went and did this, and they got so ticked at one of the sisters, they fired her completely. But she's still getting all the royalties for whatever that is anymore. And one of the remaining Pointer sisters had one of her daughters as the third singer. It's and but again, I understand they don't like each other at all. I mean, they don't like being in the same room together, which is just crazy. Yeah, let's see. The Pointer Sisters. Um, yeah, Anita Pointer, Bonnie Pointer, and June Pointer. June has died, and the current members, of course, now are no members of the original. They're like children. And let's see here. It's we have Ruth Pointer. Oh, Ruth Pointer. Oh, yeah, she's an original sister. She's 73. Okay. Isa Pointer is 42. And which child is she? Ruth Pointer and former Temptations member Dennis Edwards. So good singer from All the Deal. and and Sadeko pointer, and oh, the granddaughter of Ruth, and the grandniece of Anita and I guess Bonnie. So there you go. Pretty good. Oh, it's raining here. I get, it's I'm hearing the waterfall. It's kind of nice. Kind of nice all the way around. You see, there you go. And Billy Gibbons would have been the lone bearded Pointer Sister. Uh, Frescas are pretty good. Frescas are pretty good. Yeah, so I'm very excited to have the fish room set up. Very excited about having that set up. It's so nice being in my own home. It had been a while since I had owned one. I owned one when I was in, because I have moved for work, and I've decided I'm never going to move again. This is it. I'm done. It's I've been on the road way too much. So I owned a house in South Carolina, moved to San Francisco, and that was like when the San Francisco was at the peak of their real estate stuff. And I was only there a year and I got transferred. I was with the same company to New York City. And then I had my brain aneurysm. And so, really not in a place to buy a house. I had medical bills, stuff like that. So then went to San Antonio, then went to Little Rock. And Little Rock, I was just about to buy the house. And then, ironically, for good news, they did a layoff at the company I was with. So, thus, I'm in Joplin. And so I'm pretty happy about it. So I bought this house. It's 9 years. It's going to be 9 years old. It was built in late 2011, and the people moved in 2012. The only thing I don't like about there's a couple of things I don't like, but it hit every other thing I wanted. Is I wish that it had hardwood floors, and I couldn't swing doing hardwood floors in here or vinyl floors. It was just out of my budget to do. That's okay. And it does not have gas heat or a gas oven or water heater. I'd have preferred that. But all in all, it's pretty good. Yeah, no, moving the aquariums, it's a deal. Yeah, you see, I've been thinking about doing the outdoor tubbing. And it depends. When I get everything moved over and it warms up, I may do a little bit of outdoor tubbing. It's I may be doing a little bit of outdoor tubbing. I've set up the bird feeder. I've got all that stuff going on, so that's cool. I'm really really excited about the whole process. And no, I get it, Sand Creek. I am never leaving this home. Hey, Larry D's fishing more. What's up? And yeah, JN Aquarium, yeah, 35 tanks, yeah, I get it. Hey, D is in the house down the wormhole. You know, I want to go out. Yeah, the Teletubbies are a little creepy. Outdoor tubbing, I would like to do. I don't know if maybe that's a next year project. Just depends. I've got a few things to get done around here, so it's so it depends on my budgeting and all that sort of stuff. But I would like to do that. and I really would like to do it. And I learned a lot from videos of people setting it up. It's raining pretty hard right now. I'm watching the rain come down. That's good. And so I have a garage, and on Friday morning I had to scrape ice off, and and go to work. And then let's see, Friday night got down to about 40. Uh, Saturday night got down to like 47. Last night was 52. The advantage of having a garage is, not having to scrape, your windows and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, by the way, speaking of laundry, I had to buy a washer and a dryer. What a scam. They are not cheap. I got the cheap ones, and it was a lot of money. I mean, dropping $1,000 on a washer and dryer, it's a scam. And I went by like one of the used places, and it just, I looked at what they had, and I didn't feel all that good about it. And so, yeah, no, Chewy, you're right. The live foods and all that sort of stuff. Just making sure you don't have any aliens in there. Well, it's true, and I'll tell you what. It's my washer and dryer get delivered a week from Tuesday. St. Patrick's Day, not St. Valentine's Day. What am I saying? Um, the whole process here with it is just is getting that in. So it's like 10 days. I bought it like on a Friday, and so they'll deliver it and install it. Perfect. And then after that, um, I'll be all set up. Yeah, what I've seen, Select Pet, with the tubs thing, and there may be people who have Vinny the Mooch, that have a better deal than I have. Understanding is that you don't have to do a lot of feeding, but yeah, you have to run some sort of stuff. If you live in a place like, oh, let's say Hawaii, which gets rain every day, you don't really need to worry about it all that much. But if you're going through a deal where you don't get rain on a daily basis, all that sort of stuff, yeah, and you can get those pond pumps. I've seen these set up a couple of different ways, and where they have the water go in and drip down into like a Lowe's bucket or a Home Depot bucket or a Menards bucket, depending where you're at, and use the pond filter that pumps the water up to the top. And once it does that, it just keeps everything flowing. And you can get one that those pumps that pump like 85 gallons an hour, which is perfect. Depending on how big you have. And it's just so that's sort of the thing to go and do. Yeah, it's raining pretty good here. The one thing about my backyard is that it gets a little muddy. So the dog isn't going out there. It's raining like there's no tomorrow. I need to get grass seed and get it out back there and allow things to thicken up. So yeah, here's my lone problem in the house. I was here when they did the inspection. They did everything. Well, I run the dishwasher on Saturday, my first load, because even though everything was clean, you know how it is, you move it over, etc. So they went and they ran the I went and ran I went and I ran the dishwasher, and all of a sudden, like the first run, it leaked a little bit. Not a lot, maybe an eighth of a cup, from the front there. So it's all good. So, all right, I do the second load, no leaking. So I figure, okay, maybe this hasn't been running in a few months. It's just rebuilding. Third load, not a leak, nothing. Load 4, leak. Load 5, leak. So there you go. So a Jerusalem cricket. What does that look like? It's kind of a cricket. All right, let me see what this. Oh yeah, it's a cute little guy. Yeah, oh, and it's not native to Israel. It's native to Western United States. There you go. They're cute little buggers. I'm looking at them right now, and yeah, it looks kind of big. I probably would love to eat one of those. Is I bet you that if you dropped one in with a puffer, they'd go nuts. It's a dishwasher. Yeah, it's a front load dishwasher. And that's what I'm thinking. I'm gonna wipe off the door seal and the dishwasher diary. Hello, welcome to the dishwasher diary. I am. No, the clothes washer is a top load, and that arrives next Tuesday, a week from tomorrow, the 17th. So it's, I think it's 17th. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm not good with the calendar these days. I've been a little too busy. Yep, 17th. So hopefully the fish will be here by then. I'll have everything taken down. Then I can promptly, turn in my keys to the old place and be done with it all. Yeah, the whole deal about hand washing, and I get the appeal of hand washing, and I'm not criticizing anything for it. We're in the spirit of coronavirus. A dishwasher gets really, really hot, and it kills bacteria, and even friendly bacteria. It kills them all. Probably could even kill coronavirus. By the way, 15 here, 16 thumbs up. Thank you guys so much for your support. I really appreciate it. And Bolo's still here sleeping away. The rain has stopped. That's good news. You see, well, when I was single the last time, I've only been married once. I did a lot of disposable dishes, and I like them. Another bird virus from Asia. Huh. See, there you go. Yeah, but Bob, if you do the thing at the end where you do the heat dry, it heats them up really hot. Takes care of whatever lived through the deal. But again, that and no criticism. I know people like washing by hand. My ex mother-in-law had a dishwasher, and she used it to store stuff. Never used it to clean. So yeah. So again, it's just I happen to be pro. I'm just pro it, but that's me, and not a criticism at anyone. So I, don't get those letters that I'm offending people, which I don't want to do. I can be offensive if I want to, but That's not why we're here. We're here to talk about fish and have fun. Hot water doesn't kill that many pathogens anymore. Thanks, Chewy. Makes me feel good. What's going to kill them? So on the 65 gallon aquarium, here's what I took off the plastic, the thing off the back. It has a little bit of glue on one side, so I have to go in and dig that out. So I have to bring over my tall ladder. I have to swap ladders tomorrow because I have like a step stool and then I have a tall ladder. I'm going to go pick up the tall ladder. And I'm going to tell you, it's it if the climate change doesn't get us, it's going to be the germs. Or the sweet meteor of death. There's a Twitter account called Sweet Meteor of Death 20. He's running for president. Smod. And it's pretty funny. It's pretty funny to read. Because he'll all of a sudden say one candidate's healthcare for all, one candidate's for this. I'm for entire world extinction. Yeah, we have to survive World War Z. 5 new mystery snails. Excellent, excellent, David. I don't have. I had so many snails, primarily pond and ramshorn, that I went and I got some amazing assassin snails, and I can't see a snail in that. I mean, those assassin snails are ninjas, absolutely ninjas. And great news, Chewy. Positive. Nothing kills pathogens anymore. We're going to need that next generation of drugs to help take it out. Where are we? What about putting a little hydrogen peroxide in a water bottle? That has to do something. What I love about this place, it has an automatic ice maker, and I have to go get a replacement filter for it. I have to figure out which one I get. Let me tell you what, those are expensive as hell. I was at Lowe's the other day, and I'm going, well, okay, how much do I have to think about for this? $50. So I have to figure out how to do it online and all that sort of stuff. That comes with manufacturer. Because some of the cheap stuff could be coming with the coronavirus or lead. You don't want lead in your water. Who'd have thunk that? It's one of the reasons why I have a new house. Again, you're gonna be into my paranoia. Is that I'm against lead-based paint and asbestos. That's right, Doug. 5 more 10-gallon tanks. See, I don't have a problem forking out the money for the tanks. It's water filter. Now my brother, who is much better, guy doing junk around the house than I am. I was sort of explaining to him the issue that I had with the issue that I had with my dishwasher, and he said that I can buy it and um, I can buy the liner from the manufacturer and put it in myself. So I'll figure that out. I'll I'm still trying to unpack. I have like stuff on the floor still. So it's all good. Yeah, you see, there you go, Select Pet. That's like next level up. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do, JN Aquarium. I'm gonna clean the seal and see if that does it. If it doesn't, I have to order the doggone thing and I'll install it myself. And my brother said there's plenty of YouTube videos teaching us how to do it. But yeah, I'm gonna do that. No, you're right. I'm gonna do that and see if that fixes the problem. The chemicals and toxins in the world's oceans are causing marine life to become infertile. Huh. So I didn't know that, but I know that some of the chemicals and toxins and there's DDT is has not been used in the world in a long time. They stopped using it. The last place I think they were using it is to fight malaria in Africa, and I saw a deal where they were still finding traces of DDT in seal blubber at the North Pole. This is hopefully I have a whirlpool. One would think that's a pretty good one. It's not like oh yeah. And now the cruise ships, Doug Gray, are emptying all that coronavirus. Who wants to go on a cruise? In fact, Doug and I were talking about this earlier today. We talked for a few minutes, and I've never liked the idea of going on a cruise, with 2,000 people in a petri dish. But if I was going to go on a cruise, it would be to go to Alaska and take the cruise from Seattle up to Alaska. I would love to do that. Yeah, free cruises to Italy. They've now shut down Italy. You can't go to Italy. They've canceled soccer games. But I would love to get up to Alaska. And I went to a pretty small private high school, and I have three classmates who live in Alaska. Huh. Well, I will tell you my freshwater shrimp, cocaine free. I haven't given them cocaine at all. Now, yeah, do the Humpback and Orcas tour. Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. I would love to go out and do the Alaska thing. Would love it. I would love to go on the tour of Alaska and the whole bit. I just think the world of going up and doing that. That's the one thing I would like to go see Europe. I'd like to go see Jerusalem and Israel. I wouldn't mind seeing the pyramids and the Sphinx. And wouldn't mind going to Asia, see Japan, etc. Would love that. Farmland, the shrimp, and the streams were party animals. Yes, they were. Yeah, I wouldn't say that negative stuff about our British friends, Gian Aquarium. It's you see, there you go. New Zealand. I have friends of mine who've gone to New Zealand. They love that tour. I would just it's I hate the idea of leaving the fish at all. But so in Bolo, my dog, he cannot travel internationally with me. He he's been to see, well, my dog has been to Canada twice, and been to Mexico you know, and I'm not exaggerating this because my ex-wife was Mexican. Um, he's been to Mexico 40 times probably. I mean, he's been to Mexico a lot. He was born in Mexico. So there you go. Yeah, I'll tell you when you cross the border, you have to hand over the shots and stuff like that. They want to see him. With Bolo, they were frisking him to see if he had if we had sewed heroin into his body. They asked, could we frisk him? I said he'd love it. He would love it. And he did. He absolutely enjoyed it. Oh, I have a passport. My dog doesn't have a passport. They just do the shots thing. But yeah, I have a passport. And yeah, Bolo the drug mule. If you were gonna have a dog that was all set up to be a drug mule, would you really put it onto a 7-pound hairy dog? Really? Yeah, I'll tell you what. Love seeing Niagara Falls. Bolo loved it. We looked over from the Canadian side down on there and saw the Canadian version of Applebee's, which is called something. Hey, thank you very much, Jay's Better Room. You know, so it's all good. So yeah, so Bolo, yeah, the drug mule. It's he prefers he prefers to carry heroin, but cocaine will do. Not a big fan of meth because it's got a lot of pointy. It's like not smooth. Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that, Chewy. It's kind of neat. Remember watching all those movies when I was a kid about people who would ride the barrel over Niagara Falls? It doesn't seem like fun to me. Padding up a barrel really good and riding it over the falls, not a lot of fun. You don't do heroin? Neither do I. I don't do heroin at all. Call me a square. Call me not hip and happening. Chewy was the prime minister when you were in Canada. Doug Gray. Yeah, you see, there you go. Chewy of the North used a mule as a drug mule. Yeah. Yeah, drugs are bad. Okay. Hello, YouTube. This is Peter, better well known as Mobb Guppy. We do not promote drug use on this channel at all. So even though we've talked about, or I've talked about it a whole lot, but I did mark, we're not for kids. We're not for kids. And if you are a kid, turn this off. This is adult conversation. Bolo just sort of got up. Let's see what he wants. I think he wants to get down. Bolo, this is like the first time you've gotten down, or you just want to sit on my lap. Oh, he's coming to sit on my lap. Okay, sit. There you go. Yeah. Well, here he is, everybody. He's you good boy? Huh? Not spoiled at all. No, we're not. We're not in favor of such things. By the way, I saw, everyone's selling CBD oil everywhere. You know where I found a place selling CBD oil? I drove by it the other day. Yeah, Bolo doesn't stay in his own room. I put him in the guest bathroom when I'm away. But essentially, wherever I'm sleeping, he's on the floor. In fact, I have to look down. Here's one of the things: the carpeting they put in is kind of dark, And at night, it's tough to see him. It's very tough to see him. So I have to look down in the middle of the night if I have to use the restroom late at night and stare for a little bit. And if I see a black blob, I know it's probably him. So yeah, CBD oil sold at a used car dealership. Not joking. In fact, I probably should go take some pictures of it. It's just unbelievable. I just sat and laughed like like I was due for an electroshock treatment. I mean, I was just laughing and laughing and laughing. It just talk about hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. So yeah, so that's a helpful deal. So yeah, CBD oil, used car dealership. Crazy. So it's again, I by the way tried CBD oil because I was told it would help my headaches and help my back. I took it for like a month and a half, 2 months. Nothing. Nothing. And yeah, you know what? Bob Killer is a heck of a point. Heck of a point. Lumpy Dog in the house. Hey, it's okay. You guys are all so busy. Anytime that you come out and enjoy the live stream, I really appreciate it. All right, let me give you my schedule here. Is that Saturday, I'm hoping to move everything over with the empty fish tanks. I'm hoping to have them all moved over first thing on Saturday morning. So I'll have them and the racks in here hopefully by noon. If not, I'll go a little bit afternoon, but I'll be on Saturday. Yeah, it's I think that's a good tip for most of us, Doug. Unless at least the need I know a lot of people use medicinal cannabis for glaucoma and for their nerves, and or if they've gone through that type of thing, which is fine. But for the most part, drug free ain't bad. Look at me. You know what? I'm 50. I'm at home, living at home with my small sissy dog, with a lot of fish tanks, single. Drug free brought me to this moment, to this absolute moment of peak Mobb Guppy. There you go. That's a reason why you don't do drug, or you do drug. All right, gang. Hey, more live streams are on the way. Thank you guys so much for coming out and being a part tonight. I really appreciate it. 13 here, 18 thumbs up. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you watching, and we'll see you this weekend.